Sulistyo, and he will give a presentation about accelerating sustainable electricity development. Please come to welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for Prasetya Mulya inviting me to this Innoscape 2018. And my name is Joko. I'm actually from Medco Power Indonesia. So the previous two presenters are coming from the technology part. So I think I'm more to the practitioners that using that all the technologies and try to talk from the investment side and also from the all the stakeholders point of view on the electricity business development. Okay, so a bit about Medco Power. We are actually an independent power producer. So we are basically investing and developing a power plant and selling the electricity to PLN. But since we see the trends of technology, of the economics and several other factors in the future, we only investing on the clean and renewable energy. So we cannot invest, we will not invest on the coal-fired power plant, for example, but we can only invest in the gas and other renewables such as geothermal, mini hydro, and we are starting to look at the PV as Dr. Reza previously explained. So I think I'll make it short because it's Friday and after lunch. The contents of my presentation is that basically I will talk a bit about the regional power market in Southeast Asia, and then continue with more detail of the existing electricity condition in Indonesia based on the report of PLN, and then that include the mix of energy use in the power generation, and then to wrap up, I will talk about the stakeholders involved in the power business, and as a conclusion, I'll make it as an open conclusion for discussion. And well, Dr. Reza previously explained a bit about this, but from the practitioners, we call it as an energy trilemma, and I will explain later on. A bit on the regional power market. This data is taken from the report of Wood Mackenzie 2018. So basically, I think Indonesia still has a big spot of economic growth in the global. And if we look at the regional power market in Southeast Asia, I think Indonesia is potentially still will have the biggest demand of the electricity because I think of the demographic of Indonesia as well as the potential industry growth in Indonesia. So in the region of Southeast Asia, the Wood Mackenzie I think predicted that the regional power demand will grow at 4.6% per year until 2025. And Indonesia, together with Vietnam, Philippines, Myanmar, and Cambodia as an emerging market in South Asia, will lead that composition. Indonesia itself is contributing about 5.9% of power demand in the region. And then I'll go next to the electricity in Indonesia. If we talk about the electricity in Indonesia, then we can actually relate to the Rencana Umum Penyediaan Tenaga Listrik, or in English we call it the General PLN Supply Electricity Plan. So every annually PLN will release the 10 years plan of electricity. So how much they will develop the power generation. So for example, in 2017, this is actually until 2026. They will issue some kind of a report that in the 10 years that they will produce here is 78 gigawatt of new power generation. This is the latest, the last year RUPTL. But then they revised the power growth in the new RUPTL to become 56 gigawatt in the next 10 years. The reason is mainly because of the economic driven. Apparently, the economic growth is In 2017, in PTL, PLN assuming that the economic growth will be about 8.3, but then they revise match with the unintentionally match with the McKinsey report that the economic growth and power demand in Indonesia will be 5.9% per year. And then Pak Reza already a bit touched about this share of the fuel supply of the electricity. Well, historically, Indonesia is abundant with the fossil fuel, and apparently to cope with the demand of the electricity as well as the economic growth, I think PLN and government is trying to accelerate the electricity development, and so far the cheapest is still coal-fired power plant. So I think in Indonesia, up to at least 10 years from now, coal-fired power plant will still hold the biggest percentage in the energy mix of Indonesia, followed by the gas and then other renewables, such as mainly geothermal and hydro. And right now, I think PV is quite hot in the market, so I'll talk about that later. And then related with the energy mix here, I think Indonesia is as a part of the global community. Of course, Indonesia is committed to Kyoto Protocol COP21 in Paris. That I think by 2025, the government of Indonesia is committed to. Previously, they put the new and renewable energy at 25%, but I think in the latest information from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, they reduced it to become 23% by 2025, and then by 2050, the new and renewable energy, will become 21% in the energy mix of electricity production in Indonesia. And I think I'm quite optimistic that somehow the government can bridge that, not only the factor of the government, but also the factor of other stakeholders in the market, especially from the manufacturer of the renewable energy that can produce the more cheaper and more competitive technology for the renewable. And I think if we look at the potential in Indonesia, based on the report from MEMR, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources Indonesia, I think hydro is still in the highest one, followed by the geothermal, because we are located in the ring of fire geographically, and then followed by the solar. But of course, like from the investor like us, each of the power plant is having their own specific risks. For example, like the hydro, of course, more not only the technical, but in Indonesia it's more to the social issue, because we need to do the resettlement and such thing. I think that one is the facing the biggest challenge. And also for the geothermal, is more to the technical side, because the exploration risk is quite high. It's different from the oil and gas exploration. In geothermal, I think it's quite risky to predict the resources of geothermal underneath the earth. The solar, I think it has their own unique characteristic because it's actually an intermittent kind of energy supply, so that if we integrate into the PLN grid, sometimes they say that it will interrupt the grid. But of course, it has a battery technology that can overcome that one. But then again, PLN will need to talk about the pricing. But I think in the future, as Dr. Reza presented, I think there will be some kind of a balance formula between the conventional one and the renewable, especially for PV. And this is just a bit on where we are right now. I think for April 2018, we already reached 12.12% of new and renewable energy. So against that 23% that we need to achieve by 2025. And well, these are kind of how we as an investor try to do the mapping of the stakeholder in power market. So basically, I think the first dark blue and the gray one is actually from the government side. So I think from their perspective, I think they need to ensure the availability and as well as the affordability of the electricity price for the citizen of Indonesia. And I think they will need to produce a good regulation to enhance that one. And I think from the private sectors like me, the IPP company, and also I think from the technology provider, especially from the IPP company, we need stable and to do the physical business in a good environment. A good environment here means we need to meet certain IRR, we need to have a stable political risk, that kind of certainty of the payment. That's all we need to have to conduct the investment. And I think the last one I put it as a lender. This is the last but not the least, because I think power business is quite expensive in the capex. For example, well, if I talk about the gas power plant, I think for 1 megawatt we need about 800 to 1 million US dollar. So usually we conduct and we finance through the project finance with 70 to 30 debt to equity ratio. So 70 will be from the loan, the debt, and 30 from the equity, or 80 from debt and 20 from equity. And I think the lender here is in Indonesia. For the big project, it's mainly coming from the foreign lenders, financial institutions like ILC, Asian Development Bank, JB from Japan, KXIN from Korea, and then also the commercial banks. But I think the interesting what trends of these lenders are they become more selective on giving the finance to the power generation. Means that it is much more easier for them to give finance on the clean and renewable power plant instead of the coal-fired. And even if you go back a bit to the private sector, a big player in Europe, they started to sell their share of coal-fired power plant in Indonesia because the company policy is changed, that they can only invest on the clean and renewable. So the same like lenders. I think the last one, a couple of months ago, I think Standard Chartered, that one is the commercial bank. I think they also stopped giving funding to a coal-fired power plant. So I think, I think the future of the renewable is there. That's why we differentiate our company to more focus on that clean and renewables. Yeah, so I think all the synergy between stakeholders is needed to overcome we call it trilemma, but I think Dr. Reza mentioned it in a barrier. So this is basically the energy trilemma that all the stakeholders need to cope with. The first one will be the energy security. Of course, this mainly the role of the government, how to make sure that there is an adequate energy supply for the nation. Energy equity means that all the citizens in Indonesia have better access to the electricity in affordable tariff. And the last one, I mean, this is not in a priority list, but then the last one will be the energy sustainability. So I think each nation in the world has somehow has to put a balance on this trilemma. I think, for example, probably in Indonesia right now, the government is more focusing on the affordability of the electricity. comparing to the energy sustainability, for example, because of the existing resources. So I think there is no one solution fits for all. It really depends on the country specific and the condition of that country itself, whether it's still in the developing country or it's already in the richer situation. So I mean, if we compare like Indonesia and Europe, of course, like in Europe, the most of the power supply is actually coming from the renewable energy. But then I think they started with not with renewable energy, same like China. I think previously they to accelerate the economic development, they massively built the coal-fired power plant. But then there was a problem with Beijing or Peking with the environmental pollution, and then they tried shifting after the economic growth is settled. So I think in Indonesia, I think that's also the condition. Like I said in the first part of my presentation, that sometimes the government, I think, see in a strategic way that would probably they need to first prioritize the one of these three to go with the economic development, and then continue to do the innovation in each of the stakeholders from technology, from the vendor side, to finally find the balance of these three conditions. I think that's all from my side. So open for discussion and questions. Thank you very much.